Hello students, hope you have a good day today. So today we'll be doing the sequence of tenses. Now the sequence of tenses is actually the principle according to which the tense of the verb in a subordinate clause follows the tense of the verb in the principal clause. But there are certain rules regarding this. The first rule is the past tense in the principal clause must be followed by a tense of the past time in the subordinate clause. Now you can see in the example, she knew is followed by that he would go to Kolkata. Second sentence, she told me that it had been raining for 2 hours. So the tense in the subordinate clause is also in the past tense because of the tense in the principal clause, which is in the past tense. However, there are certain exceptions to this rule. Now we'll study about the exceptions. A past tense in the principal clause followed by a present tense in the subordinate clause, it can be followed when the subordinate clause expresses some habitual action, or if it's a universal fact, then this rule doesn't hold good. For example, a teacher said that the earth revolves around the sun. Now you can say our teacher said. The main clause, it's in past tense, but the subordinate clause is in present tense because it says the earth revolves around the sun. This is a universal fact. Second, the saint said that all men are mortal. Now all men are mortal is a universal fact. So here the rule that the subordinate clause follows the principal clause does not follow. Second exception, when the subordinate clause is introduced by some conjunction of comparison, example than, this rule doesn't apply. Now than, when the word than is there, then again this rule doesn't apply. For example, he respected you better than he respects me. Now he respects me is a subordinate clause. It is introduced by the word than, so it is not following the past tense, he respected. Second, he respects you. Now this is in present tense, better than he respected me. Now this is subordinate clause is again in past tense, it is not following the principal clause. Third, he will respect you better than he has respected me. Again, why is this an exception? Because the subordinate clause is introduced by the word or by the conjunction of comparison than. Okay? So he has respected me would be the subordinate clause. Now you must make a note of one thing, and that is, if the comparison is expressed by as well as instead of than, the same rule applies. That any tense followed by any tense, this is the rule, any tense, depending on the sense intended by the speaker. For example, they understood me as well as they understood him. They understand me as well as they understood him. So there is no rule of any tense in this case if the word as well as is there. You can say the sentence anyhow depending on what the sense is. Third exception. Now when the subordinate clause is an adverb clause denoting place, reason or comparison, it may be in any tense depending on the sense. So you can see, even if there is past tense in the principal clause. So you can see a grand city once stood, and then it is followed by where now lies the village. Now that is an adverb clause. So where now lies the village is in present tense, whereas the main clause is in past tense. So it can be, there is no rule holds good here. Second, she failed because she is weak in Sanskrit. She failed, past tense, because she is weak in Sanskrit. Now this is again giving you a reason. So here in this case again, no rule holds good. So these were the three exceptions to the first rule, that past tense in the principal clause must be followed by a tense of the past time in the subordinate clause. Now we come to the second rule, rule 2. A present or future tense in the principal clause may be followed by any tense in the subordinate clause as required by the sense. Now in case there is present or future tense, first we talked about the past tense, now we are talking about the present or future tense. For example, Tanya says that she went to Dehradun. Or if we have a future tense in the principal clause, she will think, then we can have any tense, that she worked hard. Again, there are exceptions to this. So the first exception, whenever a subordinate clause expresses a purpose, a verb is always in the present tense, even if the verb in the principal clause is in present or future. She works hard that she may survive. Now she may survive here is expressing a purpose. So whatever my principal clause tense is, she works hard or she worked hard, could be anything, the verb will always be in the present tense in the subordinate clause. Next, he will go to Mumbai that he may attend the conference. Now he may attend the conference, this is my subordinate clause, and because the verb in the subordinate clause is, now the subordinate clause here is expressing a purpose, so in this case its verb will always be in the present tense no matter what the verb of the principal clause is, which is in this case he will go to Mumbai is our principal clause. It is in future, so irrespective of the fact that this is in future, our subordinate clause, he may attend the conference, will be in present tense because it is expressing purpose. Now you have to note certain things here. First thing, if the conjunction in the subordinate clause is lest, the verb in the subordinate clause has should, irrespective of the tense of the verb in the principal clause. So lest here means otherwise not. So he is careful lest he should fall. It means he is careful that he may not fall. Okay. So this is how you will write. With lest, always use should. And irrespective of the tense, what is there, it is here is careful, doesn't matter. You have to use should with lest. Next is he was careful. You can see the difference. In one sentence, the principal clause, he is careful, is in present tense. In the second sentence, the principal clause is in past tense. He was careful. Whatever the tense is, with lest, we always use should. Another thing that you have to note is when a subordinate clause is introduced by as though or as if, the past tense is used to indicate present time and the past perfect to denote past time. For example, she treats him as if he were her own son. Now this means she treated him as if he had been her own son. So, as if he were her own son. Were her own son here means as if he had been her own son. Okay, so if the subordinate clause is introduced by as though or as if, then we always use past tense. Now another sentence which is not on the screen, that could be, he behaves as though it were nothing to be ashamed of. You can write it down. He behaves as though it were nothing to be ashamed of. Now the meaning of this sentence is, he behaved as though it had been nothing to be ashamed of. So our subordinate clause, it were nothing to be ashamed of, is depicting past tense. So it will be in past tense because this subordinate clause is introduced by as though. So I hope you've written down the second example. He behaves as though it were nothing to be ashamed of. Now my dear children, I am going to tell you about the conditional sentences, which is going to help you when you do the exercise based on transformation. In your language paper, question number 5D, which carries 8 marks, is based on transformation, where you have to rewrite the sentences according to the instructions given. So in that exercise, this is going to help you a lot. Even when you have to do the exercise of question number 5C, that's of join the two sentences without using and, but, or so, these conditional sentences can help you. So pay attention. 3 types of conditional sentences. Type 1. The tense of the verb in the principal clause is future and that of the verb in the subordinate clause is present. We use these to describe conditions which may or may not be fulfilled. For example, unless she apologizes, comma, he will not meet her again. Now here your principal clause is, he will not meet her again. Alright? So this is in future. Your subordinate clause, the verb of the subordinate clause, will be always in present unless she apologizes. This is the subordinate clause. Next sentence. If it is cloudy, they will postpone the match. Children, you can put this the other way round without putting a comma, and you can write the sentence in this way. They will postpone the match if it is cloudy. So they will postpone the match is your principal clause and the tense is in future. So if the principal clause is in future tense, the verb in the subordinate clause will always be in present tense. It will be if it is cloudy. Type 2. If is followed by a past tense or could. The main clause is normally formed with would then. If he had a pen, this is your subordinate clause, comma, he would give it to me. So if we have a past tense with if, we will write would or could depending on the sense of the sentence. Type 3. If is followed by past perfect tense. The main clause is in perfect conditional. So if we had taken the last sentence, if we had taken your advice, this is the subordinate clause which is in past perfect tense. Had taken is past perfect. Our main clause will also be in perfect conditional. It can have would, could, should or might with a have there. So we'll have it as we would have saved time. Alright. So to be precise, in case you were given a sentence which begins with if it is cloudy, subordinate clause in present, you will use future for the principal. If it is cloudy, we will not go out. Next, suppose is changed to was and past tense. If it was cloudy, we would not go out. And again, if we change the subordinate clause to past perfect, if it had been cloudy, we would not have gone out. This is how we frame the three conditional sentences. This is an important part, children, of this chapter. So make a note of it and practice more of these. They will help you in transformation. So this is all for today. In the next video, or rather on the next class, we'll be doing joining of the sentences, and that too in detail. That's also called synthesis of sentences. And children, you must be attentive for that video and prepare well for the tests that are going to come soon. Alright, so thank you, children.